Now, it wouldn't be the first time that I glued the short tube into the long blank, or vice versa, so I'm just getting everything all lined up here. Play it safe. Well, it's pretty soon going to be time for a new carrot. I don't think that epoxy glue likes to stick to carrot juice, so it's a good idea to clean it off as best you can. Now, I've recently found that if I square up the blanks before I use the barrel trimmer seems to work a lot better. It doesn't seem to unevenly catch as you're trying to lower it into the blank for the first time. Anyway, that's my opinion. I'm going to keep doing it because it works for me. And another thing I've learned when I'm doing this, and that is I've got to be really careful not to cut off the end of the brass tube. The one on the right, I'm probably within 1/1000th of an inch of it. Now, it would have been okay, as long as I didn't shorten the brass tube. I just rigged this up. I haven't even tried it yet. You're going to see it along with me for the first time. And all it is a vacuum cleaner nozzle. And the idea is it's supposed to remove the sawdust off of the top of the blank so that I can see the brass tube right away. Because sometimes I can't see it and I think I may have already touched it, and anyway, you know what I'm talking about here. So it's all adjustable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick on my macro lens, and I'm going to move in this close. This is just to help me do a little quick preliminary focusing here. And if you're a camera buff, this is a 105mm lens. It's not a zoom lens. It's sort of designed specifically for close-up work, although it will focus to infinity reasonably well. So one of the unique things about this lens, and if you're a camera buff this will be interesting to you, is it will stop right down to f56. And that gives me reasonable depth of field, providing that I've got lots of light. And inside, sometimes you don't have lots of light, but if you're outside, it works really good. And anyway, if you're a camera buff, that was interesting. If you're not, you could care less, right? Anyway, let's try this thing out and see if it works. And here's another thing I'm going to do for the first time. I'm going to use these pliers to hold the blank. I got these from William-Wood. Now, they are vice grips, so I have to be very careful that whatever I use them on, I don't crush it, because they multiply the squeeze of your hand probably 100 times. Well, maybe not 100, but you know what I mean. Now, normally I don't talk about what lens I use or anything like that, or show a scene like this. But in the last video, somebody actually showed interest wondering, how do I get my close-ups and what lens do I use? Well, this is how I do it. I figured if there's one person wondering, there's probably others. I know I'd really be interested in seeing how some of the guys get their shots. Hope you're enjoying this. Well, I have to say that vacuum system worked really well. I couldn't even see the sawdust that was getting removed so fast. Now I know it's not as clear as when I look at it through my microscope. However, those are little cracks just above the brass tube, and they've been completely filled by the cactus juice. So the cactus juice has made a piece of wood that would normally not be usable. Now you'll notice I'm going to extra effort there to rotate those pieces on the mandrel, but it doesn't matter which way they are around as long as they go on in the same direction, in the right direction, and as you can see they are.